How can you say that? Okay, no, that's enough. I can't do that. Oh. Sorry, dude, you got your head up your ass. Welcome back to another new metal related thing. I'm off work today because I'm a little bit under the weather. And I was bored and going through YouTube, as one does. And I came across a playlist, which I'd like to share with you, which is called The 10 Best Songs by the 10 Worst New Metal Bands. This playlist is by Welder Farias. I got some things to say about this list. There's a few of these songs that I have not heard. There's some that I think I have heard, but not listened to in a while. And there's one in particular where I'm like, how the hell do you think this band is one of the worst new metal bands? What?
What the fuck?
So we're gonna go through this little list. I'm gonna give my thoughts A, on the songs individually, and B, on the overall playlist itself, and see if it's worthy of the title. The first one I'm gonna be giving my thoughts on is Trapt, Headstrong. Now I know for sure that I have heard this song before, I just can't picture it in my mind. So I'm gonna check it out now and see what I think of it.
Contemplating everything you ever said. Now I see the truth, I got it down. A different motive. Back up, I'll take you on. Headstrong to take on anyone.
Alright, yeah, I do know that song. I feel like around the early 2000s that was kind of everywhere and then it just disappeared, never to return. From what I understand, the vocalist from Trapt is like a bit of a, not a troll on Twitter so much as just a straight up dickhead. Anti-Semitic or something, I don't know. I have no idea. Worst new metal bands though, I don't know. I feel like they're a bit of a one-hit wonder, right? Not a bad song. It blurs in with so many other songs from back in the day. Obviously trying to do the Linkin Park thing. Not great. Not bad, really. Very mid. Not taking many risks, you know. I understand why this was on the radio a lot. It's immediately very catchy. Like as soon as it started, I knew the song, right? So it's clearly well written. I don't really know Trapt that well, aside from this song. I've got not many more thoughts on this one. This next one is Nonpoint, and the song is Bullet with a Name. Now, Nonpoint, I feel like over the decades, I've given Nonpoint more than a few chances to impress me, and they never really have. They seem very D-tier new metal, where it's just nothing that no one hasn't done before. Sorry to all you Nonpoint fans. So I will check out the song and see what I think of this one, because I'm pretty sure I've not heard it. Okay, yeah, I have heard this one. I think my problem with Nonpoint is the vocalist. I don't really like his voice. This song, while it's not bad, I like the guitar is like a carbon copy of early Slipknot guitar. My brain always draws a comparison to Skindred, who I think do this in a much more interesting way. Nonpoint is kind of like, we have Skindred at home. Just not impressed. So far, I kind of agree with this playlist. Let's get on to the next one. The next one is Adema with the song Immortal. Now, Adema is a band I do remember from back in the day, being on like MTV or whatever. Even at the time, kind of feeling a little bit generic and non-risky and basically quite similar to Trapt. And a few years ago, I did, you know, just out of curiosity, I did go, I'm going to see if I can get into Adema in the 2020s. And I listened to a couple of their albums a couple of times and was like, that was okay. And that's basically all that happened. So I don't know if this song is going to be off one of those albums that I listened to, but I will probably know within the first 5 seconds. So let's go.
We're face to face.
Okay. Once again, incredibly generic, incredibly early 2000s. I didn't hate this, but it doesn't stand out from any other Adema song that I've ever heard. It does sort of give me a sense of nostalgia, and I like it for that, but this was quite, again, not risky. And this is saying a lot about these bands if this guy considers them to be their best songs. But like I say, there's only one band in here where I'm like, how can you say that? Anyway, yeah, didn't think much to this. There is another song of theirs that was bigger than this that in my mind at least, is better, but my mind is full of tens of thousands of songs, so I don't know. Adema, Immortal, pretty mid. Okay, this one is pretty on point, I think. This is Drowning Pool, Bodies. And it's a very sad story about what happened with Drowning Pool. If you don't know, the singer Dave, he passed away suddenly, very young, after they released their first album, and they were on a trajectory to become this huge band because of him. He had a fantastic voice, and then they replaced him, and then they replaced him again, and then again and again and again, and in my mind, Drowning Pool ended when he died, basically. But this is Bodies. If you haven't heard it, then what rock have you been hiding under for the last 20 years? Let's go.
Let the bodies hit the Can't take much more. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Okay. Again, if you've never heard this song, I'm guessing you were born yesterday. This so far is, I'd say, the best song on this playlist. It's not even the most outstanding technical or original song. There's just something about it that is just perfect songwriting. If you haven't heard the album that this is from, Sinner, I hope you like guitar phasing, because it seems to me like the guitarist got a phaser pedal for Christmas and just used it on every single song as much as possible. The other song, I forget what it's called now, but it was like the other big single, I think was a better song, to be honest, than this, my personal preference. But this, it was a cultural phenomenon, this song. Like, it became a meme, you know? So, yeah, this is the first one I genuinely strongly agree with. This is one of the best songs by a new metal band that ended up not being very good because one of the members passed away. It's very unfortunate. Next song. So Taproot is the next band, and it's a song called Poem. I have, once again, similar with Nonpoint, I've given Taproot many chances to impress me, and they really never have. And I know they've got their fans, like big, dedicated fans who consider them like one of the most underrated new metal bands of the era. I don't get it. I really don't get what's so special about them at all. I don't think they're bad, I don't get the hype. I'm not sure if I've heard this song, I must have at some point. But let's see if this rocks my boat.
Overbearing panic attack, entrenching my veins in an hour, I'll be okay.
Right. I maintain what I said. I have heard this song before. I don't think it's bad. It's very clearly intended for radio play. Based on the vocals, I'm not sure I would even really consider this new metal. You could transplant the vocals out and put them into like some Latin rock or something, and it would fit perfectly. I'm not surprised by my feelings on this one. Taproot, I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. They're really nothing special. I kind of agree with this one. I think this is the song of theirs that I think most people that aren't huge Taproot fans would know, myself included. Would I consider them one of the worst new metal bands? I don't know. Again, they've never impressed me, but I don't think they're bad. There's one on this list that I do think is very bad. But this, it's just very mid, very meh, very inoffensive. Good radio song. Does it get my blood pumping? No. Moving on to the next one, which I have some things to say about. Right. This one is Dry Kill Logic. with a song called Paper Tiger. Now, I didn't discover Dry Kill Logic until a few years ago. They completely passed me by. I think I heard the name around, but I never got into them. And I dived into their music in the last few years, and I was genuinely blown away and felt like an idiot that I never listened to this back in the day. I think Poem and Bodies are kind of one-hit wonder songs. This isn't at all, and it's a really good song, but it doesn't really stand out from the rest of their discography particularly. And to call them one of the worst new metal bands, I'm sorry, whatever your name was, you're an idiot. So I know the song incredibly well, but I'll do this for you. Let's go, Dry Kill Logic, Paper Tiger.
Watch out for all the rest of you. That is how much you think that it will be. It never burned, it's all a lie to you. And all you do is seem to remind me. Show me. Even you have shown.
Was that not far better than any other song we've heard so far? Just me, perhaps. Without going into the realm of the big new metal bands, you know, your Korns, your Limp Bizkits, your Slipknots, your Deftones, your Linkin Parks, etc. In terms of bands that should have been bigger, this is one of them. In fact, I included this band in my video of 7 underrated new metal gems, or whatever the hell I called it. I'll put it here. Fantastic band, fantastic song. And to say that they're one of the worst new metal bands? Sorry dude, you got your head up your ass. I basically agree with all of the rest of these, but that one, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna throw something at you. Okay, the next one is Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal, the Michael Jackson cover. I forget what the name of the album that this came from was, but I used to listen to this back in the day. I had the CD. It was really good. It wasn't my favourite thing ever, but it was fun and upbeat and much more on the poppier side of new metal. But I liked it, and no one really had anything bad to say about Alien Ant Farm. With new metal bands of the time, doing a cover was a relatively surefire way to get your music out there for some reason. So many bands did it. While this song was good, I actually think the rest of the album was better. See what you think. Okay, I probably didn't need to play that one because I'm sure most of you have already heard that. I have no problem with this song. I've no problem with Alien Ant Farm, really. Were they one of the worst new metal bands? No. They had very, very high peaks. But I wouldn't say the rest of their music was bad. It was fun, it was upbeat, it was good, like, summer music. And, like, peak early 2000s, not taking yourself seriously music. It was good. I don't know what this person's on about. The last two, just so you know, one I don't know at all, I don't think. And the last one, I think, is well known and not well loved. So the next song is Earshot, Get Away. Now, I feel like I do know the name Earshot. I feel like maybe they were on a movie soundtrack or something. Was it maybe Queen of the Damned? I don't know. But maybe my brain's conflating two different things. But I seem to remember that I have heard a song of theirs at least and liked it. Do I know anything about the rest of their music? No, nothing at all. So this is the one that I'm going in the most ignorant.
Far from a path of destruction. Is this all some great big lie? How much must I live through just to get away?
Right, you might have noticed me pulling some strange faces there. That is because I don't know if it's the same guy, but this guy sounds exactly like the vocalist from another very little known band called One Side Zero. Very similar indeed. And when the song kicked in, I'm like, wait, is this Tool? Like, that's just a very blatant Tool ripoff. Sorry to say. But yeah, I think based on the sound and it's sort of flashing images of the past where I know this band from, and I'm pretty sure they're on a soundtrack, I don't know. This was bad in the sense that it was a Tool ripoff, very clearly. I like the guy's voice, because I like the guy's voice in the band One Side Zero. If it's the same guy, then that makes sense. If it's not the same guy, then he's got a doppelganger or something. This is very strange, but I didn't love it. I'm not the biggest Tool fan. Don't come at me. Like I said, I don't really know enough about this band to defend them or agree. So this one was meh. So the last one is Crazytown Butterfly. This is where me and the creator of this playlist wholeheartedly agree. I think Crazytown were one of the shittest bands to come out of all of the early 2000s. My god. Butterfly was everywhere. It was inescapable for so long, and I got so sick of it back then, to the point where now I hear it and I just roll my eyes. Like, it doesn't even give me any nostalgia or anything. It's just, ugh, this song again. It got boring, and then it never stopped being boring after a while. And it's a Red Hot Chili Peppers sample. Like, they didn't even write the bloody thing. And for those of you who don't know, I'll play a bit of it and you'll probably recognize it straight away.
Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby. Such a sexy, pretty little thing. This little bitch so to keep you by my side. There's nothing.
Okay, no, that's enough. I can't do that. Oh, no, man. No, just no. This isn't even new metal, really. Like, the rest of their music was more leaning towards new metal. This was their big single, and it wasn't new metal, but everyone had the wool pulled over their eyes to think that it was. I guess it's because it's a bit hip-hoppy, right? But where's the chunky guitar? Absent. Where are the weird keyboards or scratching? Absent. It's just crap. Rest in peace, Shifty Shellshock, of course. He passed away, I think a couple of years ago at this point. Yeah, I don't like this song. I never really have. It is well deserving on a place on this list. I mean, actually no, because I wouldn't even say this song is good. I think the most appropriate song, from my perspective, of all of these is probably Drowning Pool Bodies, because that is a killer song. Whether you like it or not, it was a cultural phenomenon. And the rest of the band's discography, apart from that one album, Sinners, is pretty crap. So, well, Defarius, if you're watching, I would like to debate you on this list, if you have anything to say about it. Also, one thing I would like to point out, this playlist is called the 10 best songs by the 10 worst new metal bands, but there's only 9 songs. Do you not know how numbers work? I'm taking the piss, this is all in fun, it's all in jest. This was just, I thought, a fun idea for a video. I don't really want to injure you or anything. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on all of these mostly very mediocre songs and mostly not great bands. What would your top 10 best songs by the top 10 worst new metal bands be, in your opinion? Maybe I could make my own. Thank you for watching. If you're already subscribed, then thank you for being here. If you're new, then consider subscribing. And if you want to support me, you can do that on Buy Me a Coffee, if you wish. All I have left to say is I've still not thought of how to end videos yet. So I'm just going to say, go away.